A moment of relief after days of uncertainty. Migrants aboard the Alex rescue ship step onto land. Rescuers say the conditions on the boat had grown horrific, including no functioning toilets and a lack of water. That's why, on Saturday, the ship's operators radioed into port to say they would defy Italy's orders not to dock there.
We are in emergency conditions that force us to go to the nearest port because we're out of our food and water supplies. We are overcrowded with several cases of physical pain caused principally by the hot weather.
The decision to dock violated orders from Italian Interior Minister Matteo Salvini. He has banned unauthorized rescue boats from entering Italy's ports, and Salvini has hit back at foreign officials, including from Germany, who have criticized the move.
Io zitto non sto.
Dear German government, I am not reopening Italian ports, especially if you ask me to. If there's a German ship, then you take care of it. Or we'll put the migrants on a bus to the German embassy. It's enough. Same goes for the French, the Dutch, and anyone who thinks they can do what they want in Italy.
And that German ship Matteo Salvini was referring to is the Alan Kurdi. It's run by CI, a German aid organisation. It also tried to dock in Italy over the weekend but was denied entry. It's now sailing with more than 60 rescued migrants on board for ports in Malta instead.
For more, let's bring in DW correspondent Amian Essef. He's in Lampedusa following the story for us. Amian, Italian authorities certainly didn't want these people on their shore, so how were they received?
Well, a coordinator for the Mediterranea, that's the NGO that's responsible for that ship that came into port against Italy's wishes, they told me it was sheer torture what the people on board had to go through. After spending almost 2 days out at sea, they were forced to spend another 8 hours in port waiting almost without explanation as the authorities decided what to do with them. Now, after they came off that boat, 8 hours after they had come in, it was fairly standard procedure from there. They were taken to the immigration center like a lot of migrants who arrive on this island. But they were also greeted by a welcoming committee. Some activists had come out with a sign saying, "Welcome to Lampedusa." As well, there were people who were jeering at them, telling them to go home.
Amian, the Interior Minister said that the vessel's crew would be placed under investigation for abetting illegal immigration. Have we gotten any reaction from the crew yet?
Well, a spokesperson for the NGO, speaking for the crew, said, and the captain said that they remain firmly behind their decision to come into port. They said it was their humanitarian duty. They were obeying international maritime law to come into the closest port. They said they could not last out in the ocean any longer, could not make the trip to Malta, which had originally welcomed them. So they say that there was no criminal activity. Of course, Matteo Salvini, as we heard, says that it was a political act just to go out and pick up migrants and then come to Lampedusa, knowing full well that they would have to force their way in.
Now, is all of this deepening rifts in Europe's migration policy?
Well, that depends on who you ask. Of course, on the island of Lampedusa, if you can take that for an example, it's very much polarized. You have the one side who sees the lives of those rescued out at sea as the most important thing here and says politics needs to be resolved once people come to land. And then you have the other people who see it as NGOs going out and picking up people from North Africa and bringing them to Europe's shores. So if you take that as an example for all of Europe, then certainly things are becoming more polarized.
Amian Essef in Lampedusa for us. Thank you very much.